I'm Dr. Jeffrey Berger, and welcome to Season 3 of the Holistic True Wealth series in collaboration with Mupo TV, part of Mupo Entertainment. I am the CEO and founder of Abundance and Optimum Wellness, and as a certified holistic coach, I am of the belief we all should be living a life of abundance and optimum wellness, physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, and financially. As a certified holistic coach today, I take a finance-first approach to achieving all-encompassing personal well-being by embracing new ways to true wealth in the modern world. Exploring diverse paths opens doors to true wealth in every sense. Today, we're facing a paradigm shift like none other that is revolutionizing our futures in ways that are unprecedented. And to remain stagnant is to be left behind. My mission goes beyond business by providing global-minded entrepreneurs and individuals with new ways to true wealth in the modern world so they can circumvent the broken systems and go from financial fatigue to financial freedom. It's really about creating opportunities, providing access, and building a more inclusive and supportive digital world where everyone has the chance to thrive. True wealth is not only about money, it's about having the tools and the resources allowing you to create a lifestyle to live in abundance and optimum wellness physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, and financially. Myself and my special guests are all about bringing awareness around alternative solutions from all aspects, leading you towards that path to overall true wealth. The mission: provide real solutions for real people who are serious about wanting to go from barely surviving to thriving again. So before I bring on my very special guest today, we're going to take a quick commercial break here. You'll find this interview series in collaboration with Mupo TV, Mupo Entertainment, or you can download our Android or iOS app. We're in 144 countries, seen on Fire TV, Roku, and Vimeo, and we are in discussions with Paramount, HBO, and Netflix with a possible collaboration. So with that, we're going to take that commercial break, and we will be right back. Okay, we are back, and joining us from New Canaan, Connecticut is Anthony Scire. He's a life coach and personal trainer. He comes to us with a deep passion for fitness, family, and service. He's spent over 20 years in the strength and conditioning industry, proud dad of a 7-year-old daughter who has been a profound source of inspiration. And finally, his mission is to empower others to embrace their own journeys, to cultivating courage, resilience, and purpose as they discover what they are truly capable of. Welcome, Anthony, to Season 3 of Holistic True Wealth.
Thank you so much, Jeff. I'm so happy and honored to be here and thrilled. So, excited.
Awesome. Well, that's great. So before we start into some of the questions here, I always love to share with the audience who my guests are outside of business. So share a little bit about who you are and what you're doing up there in New Canaan, Connecticut.
Canaan, yeah, up here in the little tail part of Connecticut.
Yeah.
What am I outside of business? Well, that is the eternal question: is who am I? I am I. So it's been this continued journey, the one that, as I call my hero's journey, that to continue discovering and asking and being curious of who am I? What game am I playing in this life? And what are my standards? What are my standards for myself in my life? And these things, I'm humble enough to, at my 55 years young, to realize that it's okay to not have all the answers and to continue to walk in the unknown of it all. And so who I am is really constantly evolving every day, every minute, because who I was a month ago, a year ago, 10 years ago is completely different than who I am today. So I want to continue finding this more coherence in myself and alignment of like how I show up as a father, as a work colleague, as any person I touch in my life, as being who I really am without the masks. That's really what I am continuing to work on in my life is just how can I be, and then be humble enough to realize that I have to allow other people their journey too without
Right.
forcing it. So
Yeah, no, that's great. And, as you say, I'm hitting 71 soon, and I don't have all the answers as well. And the journey of life is all about continued learning
yeah.
and continued experiences and continued shares.
So
So that's great. So I'd like to really start out with the philosophy behind high performance mindset with
yeah,
balance. And
yeah,
you talk about helping teens create a high performance mindset with balance, happiness, and authentic relationships. How
yeah.
do you define balance in this context? And how do you help teens and parents
Mm.
achieve the high performance without sacrificing their well being or relationships?
Yeah, it's the balance of, we live in this world, this external world we live in, and so we're constantly doing. So, as a teen, like I'm amazed at the responsibilities of what kids in this world that are living in today, and now what my
Yeah.
daughter's going to be growing up in, and just how different it is.
Mm.
The competition with academics and sports, or just all activities, are that much. There's so much more expectations placed on kids, and it's a different world they're living in. The game has changed, the goalposts have
Exactly.
moved. So how does one create balance in the things that they're doing in life, and balancing just also internally? That's the balance of the external world I'm living in versus also how am I talking to myself? How am I treating myself in here? What is my dialogue, the language I'm using internally and externally? So that's something that I learning myself, and it's I've realized that I can't convince anybody of anything. And so how
Right.
can I help someone? It's, well, I have to be the model. And how can I be the model and then provide the space for them to explore themselves? And I said, as a coach, mentor, I'm going to keep flicking the light switch, because
Right.
keep flicking it and doing it different ways. Okay, if that didn't work, let me flick it this way. Let me just keep flicking it, because ultimately, when the light bulb goes on for the parent or that teen, they own it. They own it
Right.
now. I
Right.
know for me how I learned, words are one thing, and I could be introduced, read a book or a teacher saying something, and on the chalkboard or now the screen. Uh,
Exactly.
it's until I take that information and internalize it and then make it my own. Now I own it. I have it. So
Yeah.
for me, it's how can I find ways to continue flicking that switch for people, for parents, for teens, that ultimately then they use their own innate wisdom, say, I got it now. Now we can really explore these concepts of what does it mean to be, create a high performance mindset, the pillars of, recovery and internal world, how I talk to myself, and how do I perform at a high level at sport, in school, but also in life. And what does that
Right.
mean? Yeah.
Yeah, no, exactly. And, again, I go back to that, the reason I love doing this show is because people are looking for those tools and resources
Mm.
that will resonate with them. And, growing up, there was no internet. And now that
Yeah.
we have the internet, there's a lot of noise out there
Yeah.
and a lot of shiny objects. And it's like,
Mm.
it's really distracting and causing a lot of ADHD
Yeah.
in many respects. So, but totally relate to that. And so let's talk about the overcoming lack of support in early life. And you mentioned having experienced a lack of support in your own youth, and that those struggles taught you lessons you now bring to your coaching, which is awesome. And could you share one or two pivotal lessons from that time in your life and how they've really directly informed the methods or tools you use today with teen athletes?
Yeah. I grew up as a child in the 70s and early 80s. So parenting back then was kind of hands off in a way.
Right.
And it was just different. So it was good, everything, they're good and bad. But for me, and what I experienced in my life was, and I had like one of my shadows is feeling of abandonment, that I didn't get the support that I needed, that I had a different learning style, but it was never recognized because it just slipped through the cracks back then. And learning was so hard for me. I mean, I was kicked out of a lot of classes for asking too many questions and being disruptive because I just wanted to know. But I had to keep up with the pace of things in public school, how they taught, and they just didn't have time to slow down and stop the class for me. And it was very frustrating. So, what I learned was that no one is going to come and save me. Parents, coaches, teachers, ultimately, I had to love myself. Really, that's what the thing that the thing that I really learned was, one, the game is I love me first.
Right. Absolutely.
And then I can go from there to figure out and then ask for help, seek help, get the things that I need. But I'm going to have to speak up for me because ultimately no one is going to do that for me. And I didn't do that. And I had to find that. So the lesson is that I need to be the greatest medicine. I'm the greatest medicine I can give myself. That's the huge lesson that I learned, and that what I take with me today when I work with people is that you are the greatest medicine you can give yourself, and then allow space.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And it took decades for me to realize and learn how to love myself, because I didn't for many, many decades. And once you realize that, then it really opens up, I say, Pandora's box to an unlimited potential of possibilities that are out there for the individual. So we're going to take, we're coming up to the middle of the conversation here. We're going to take a very quick, short commercial break. And, I talked earlier about me being a holistic coach with a finance first approach, and finances are the number one stressor globally. And what I'm doing is I'm sharing a lot of information out there about the technologies of today that are really changing the way we will be doing things 3 to 5 to 10 years down the road. And it's all about getting in on the ground floor with some of these great opportunities that are happening. So we'll be right back with Anthony after this short commercial break. Okay, we are back with Anthony Scire from Connecticut, and I'm down here in Southwest Florida in Cape Coral. So let's just jump back in, because you've been providing some really great nuggets for the audience today, helping teens do difficult things. So one phrase on your site, on your website, that really stood out is helping teens to do difficult things. Could you unpack what that means in practice, and then what kinds of different things are we talking about? And then what is your process for helping a team develop that mindset or resilience to tackle those challenges?
Yeah, to be able to do difficult things is all comes down to like self-efficacy. Thank you. Is that belief that I can do something and I'm able to do it. I'm able to figure it out. I'm able to go through the process. So doing difficult things in life, whether it's navigating academics, friendships, relationships with coaches, teachers, your parents, with yourself, how does one tackle that? And so it's, for me, is allowing the space in that, like, to know that each and every one of us have that innate wisdom in us, and that it takes time to unpack these things, because I've learned I can't just tell a kid, hey, you got gifts, you can do this. Those are just words.
Right.
So the best way I've known and I've come is just showing up, giving my presence without preaching, getting on my soapbox, because I've been guilty of that of my life. Like,
I hear you.
Like, okay, Anthony, zip. And I've even found this on stage too, acting like the greatest thing I can do. Sometimes the greatest thing in life is silence. That pause to allow a person to vent, talk, hear themselves, and just give it space. It's something that was heavy to be like, yeah, I hear you.
Yeah, no, that's really good, because for me, with that, doing the tough, doing the difficult things, and it's all about falling on your face and then getting back up and pushing forward, and getting into your uncomfortable zone, because that's where really growth happens. You start to learn more, and all of that creativeness really thrives and comes to light when you're in your uncomfortable zone, because it really opens up your mind and your mindset to wanting to achieve those different things that you find challenging, difficult, and it gets easier as you move forward through that. So
I want to bring, and this is something
Sure.
I learned from a colleague, wonderful man. The saying, we say things in life a lot, and sometimes we don't realize why we're saying it. Mistake it till you make it.
Right.
And now he introduced a new concept to me of, no, it's about not, I'm sorry, not mistake it, fake it till you make it. That saying, got to fake it till you make it. And for me, if I'm going to continue to be true to myself and be real, I don't want to fake it. I don't want to fake anything in my life. But can I allow myself to mistake it till I make it? Can I allow myself to fall on my face, to oh my God, look silly maybe? Because I don't know of any true successful business person, athlete out there, entertainer, who hasn't fallen on their face and yard sailed more than once.
Absolutely.
It's, can I allow myself to mistake it? It's okay. It's like, as long as I take imperfect action, that's better than, and I'll speak for myself, this perfectionism. I'm going to be frozen and not do anything and wait for that perfect time. It's got to be this time, then I'll be able to do something. So that's something that I really help. The concept I bring with people I work with is that given that space to make mistakes, and that's how we learn and grow.
Absolutely. So let's jump into the measurement of success and long-term impact. And when you work with teen students, athletes, what do you see as the markers of true success, and not just in the short term, but a lasting impact? And with that, how do you measure progress in things like confidence, relationship health, mindset, etc.? And what stories or examples can you come to mind for you to share with the audience to show that transformative change over time?
Many years ago, I worked with this young man who wanted to join the Navy, and they had a push-up test, and he had to there was a physical part of the test, and kid couldn't do one push-up. And so you know, he came in not sure of himself, not a lot of confidence, very smart young man, but from that performance physical side wasn't so sure of himself. So, you know, like many skills, we chunked it out. It's like, okay, how many push-ups do you need to do? Okay, now let's chunk out. Let's work backwards towards that goal. And every day we worked on, you know, how he could hold himself in the top position, then to slowly lower himself, then do one perfect push-up. And we started, okay, can you do one perfect push-up? Like without the breaking, like, because to me,
Right.
standards. I don't care if someone does 50 push-ups, but they're all over the place doing, I'm like, those aren't push-ups. So I have a standard, and I wanted him to meet that standard, whatever the Navy standard was. He was going to go above and beyond it. So we worked for like 8 weeks on this, and like he was teaching me. It was just, I love, that's why I work with people. It's like I learned so much about myself.
Right.
And I'll never forget that, you know, his mom sent me a photograph of him in his Navy outfit, like months later. Like that to me was the greatest gift
Exactly.
I could get, because in this, he believed in himself. I gave him the space to practice and experiment. And I said, because when he left me, he didn't, you know, I'm like, okay, now every day you have to practice what we've just been working on. Now it's up to you. Can you do this? Like you have the outline, the model. Now it's up to you. And he did it. And so to see that was like, that was the greatest thing I could ever
Greatest
receive.
gift. Yeah.
That. Yeah.
That's awesome. That's awesome. And so many, and I'm sure you got a ton of stories, and we're coming up on the half hour mark here.
Yeah,
So last question for you is if there was one piece of advice that you could provide viewers watching, what could potentially take them to the next level in their life, either personally, professionally, or both, what would that be?
God, well, I said one earlier, is that to realize that you are the greatest medicine that you can give yourself. But before I got there, I also recognized that I've been the greatest joke I've been playing on myself. So to have some humor in it.
Good.
And so here's the question to add, I've been asking is, how can I love life as it is right now, even if I don't like what is happening in my life, personally, professionally, and to know that you are much greater than your circumstances ever are. And the 3 things that anyone can add into their life to increase their vibration, to increase their energy, is to add more LSD in your life. Laughing, singing, dancing.
I like that.
I'm a movement person. And the more I can laugh in life at myself and with others, the more I can sing and dance. And dance can be whatever you want to make it movement. If dancing isn't your thing, whatever movement it is, to add those things into your daily life, you will find that you are going to increase your frequency and how you're being in that moment. To bring yourself back into the here and now is to add more of that LSD in your life.
Awesome. Well, that's great advice, and I'll have to practice that myself. Some more of that LSD, because I like that.
That's what life is. It's about experimenting, right? All life is learning. Yeah,
absolutely. It's all about energy forces, and bringing that heightened awareness into your life, and embracing that, and continuing to utilize those, again, tools and resources that help you elevate yourself. So with that, Anthony, I can't thank you enough for taking time from your busy schedule to come on the show today and share your great wisdom. And for those that are out there, are you happy with your retirement portfolio? Are you interested in learning how you can take advantage of today's technologies, like those who saw the opportunity decades ago with Microsoft, Apple, Netflix, and Amazon? Or are you looking for unique investment opportunities that not only will change your lives, but the generations to come for your kids and grandkids? If so, then listen up. A quick experience here as an ex-software engineer. I was approached in 2009 with the opportunity of purchasing 500 Bitcoin at 0.0017 cents. That was an 85-cent investment. My response, nah, sounds like a scam. And today, Bitcoin has been valued over $100,000 per coin. So we are, as I mentioned in the beginning, we are in front of a massive paradigm shift. And if you're open to taking a look at getting in on the ground floor, then we need to talk. Remember, as you already know, the early birds always get the bigger worms. So don't let one. So don't be one of those ones who will say a couple years in the future, if I'd only listened to Jeff 5 years ago, or even 10. So scan that QR code and hop on to an educational webinar to get information. And thank you for joining us today. Again, thank you, Anthony, for your wisdom, your time, and we'll see you on the next show.
Thank you, Jeff. Listen to Jeff. Give him a call.
I was playing? Huh. I was playing? Huh.